Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome back to DCTV, where I'm your host, Drew Collins, bringing you the very best sports infotainment news in the Cincinnati area. If you're new around here, join the family, hit the subscribe button. We give out transparency picks every week for the NFL. You can see our picks right here. I'm currently 44-20. Courtney is 37-27. And, we're just going to keep on doing this and see where we are at the end of the year. If you haven't been riding with us, and I don't know what you're doing because, I've been making some pretty decent side cash, but obviously if you are betting, don't bet more than you can afford to lose. Follow us on our socials. You see Courtney's TikTok and Twitter, my Instagram and Twitter as well, or X. Courtney, how do you feel like all together for week 4 last week?
So I went 10-6 last week, but there was a lot of disappointment despite not having a terrible record. Obviously I'd like to do better than that because it's a little close to, being even, but yeah. Oh God. When we originally texted me last week, I was like, how'd you do? I thought it was going to be a lot worse because we did differ on so many. But it worked out for me to still have a positive record. So I'm just going to keep moving. Try to redeem myself this week.
I tore it up last week. I don't want to be cocky or anything, but 13-3, I am going to take my flowers for that. 13-3 is better than any other YouTube person, any national media person that I saw in picks. So, I'm going to give myself some flowers for that. I'm very, very satisfied with that. I'm on a streak right now. I'm seeing the board pretty well, which means you probably want to fade me this week because I'm probably due for some bad ones. But, let's keep the good luck rolling. Now, I will say I think 12-3 in that Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football was the Giants-Seahawks game, and I was so confident about that Seahawks. And yeah, the Giants are bad. And if you're a Giants fan and your franchise paid Danny Dimes over Saquon Barkley, how stupid do you have to feel? I know the running market is what it is right now, but holy damn, that Giants team is nothing without Saquon Barkley. I don't want to sit too long here and review. 13-3, I'll take it. I know my upsets were the Bengals, the Bengals, and the Colts, I believe, are my 3 L's. Bengals absolutely stunk it up. Steelers absolutely stunk it up. And the Colts-Rams game, that went into overtime. So, I could have went 14-2. But we'll get into the Bengals-Steelers. As a Bengals fan myself, I have a lot to say. As a Steelers fan for Courtney, look at Baki up there. As a Steelers fan for Courtney, I'm sure we're going to have a lot to say when we get to those picks. So let's go ahead and get us started this week. We have Thursday Night Football, an absolute banger of a game. Everybody is so excited for it. Bears and Commanders. What a freaking way to get our week started. Thursday Night Football. I'm pumped for it. Courtney, get us started here. I'm so excited for this one.
Okay, so if you were here last week, you know that I picked the Bears to win. If no other game made me more mad last week than that one, not even the Steelers, and this is why, because I was so ready to come back on here and rub it in your face because you're like, the Bears stink. No way they're going to win this. 1,000% should have won that game. Unbelievable stuff, even though it's really not that unbelievable. Hello to your cat. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Commanders because they also did very well last week, I thought, against the Eagles. I believe that's who they played?
Yes.
Okay. And my thoughts on that, too, is, I can't tell if the Commanders are, better than I thought they were or the Eagles are worse than I thought they were. I can't really tell yet. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. But, yeah, I am going to ride with the Commanders here, even though I would not be surprised if the Bears won this just because I didn't pick them, sort of deal. So yeah,
I hear you. And look, you're right. They were up, I think, 21 points at half or something like that.
Yes, it was.
You should have been coming in here today, starting us off you suck. I told you the Bears got the win, and the Bears did the Bears. I mean, I've said they are the worst team in the National Football League since week 1, before they basically Chicago started burning down their franchise, and it's just gotten worse, and they've just continued to prove me why they are the worst franchise and the worst team currently in the NFL. So I will fade them every single week, and I'm going to do that here. I have a medium confidence pick with the Commanders. Yeah, I mean, they're just burning down their franchise right now. The Bears are 0-2 on the road, but they haven't won, so they're going to be 0 and whatever. And the Washington Commanders lead the series 27-24-1 all time. So, a pretty tough over 100 years or whatever. Pretty tough between the two teams. What's kind of crazy to me is Washington's at home and they're only getting, I believe, oh no, the line opened up at 1.5. It's now gone to 5.5. So everyone is kind of riding with Washington. They bought it all the way up 4 whole points. I would just do money line. I don't do points very often. I'm not going to do it here. But yeah, my pick is a medium confidence pick in the Commanders. Less so the Commanders, more so the Bears are the Bears. I mean, if you're looking at other picks, you could probably take the under. I'm sure it's already stupid prime time games, no matter the teams, really besides the first game of the year, have been pretty low with the under. This is another one. We're both riding with the Commanders. The Bears stink. They're the worst team in the NFL, and I will continue to preach that. All right. I got the London game right last week. Did you? It was the Jags and the Falcons. Did you ride? Was this other one you got wrong?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So somehow, some way, I don't know how the scheduling worked out, but why are the Jags still in London for the second straight week?
Bro, it's a hot mess nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes no sense. Bills high confidence play for me. Look, the Bills are hot. This is a home game for them. They always play really well at home. Obviously, it's not really a home game. They haven't lost at home since the AFC Divisional Championship against the Bengals. I had all these stats thinking that it was in Buffalo, by the way, so it's kind of irrelevant. Jags are 4-5 on the road last year, but I should have had a stat like what are they in London, which is probably pretty good. The all-time series between these two teams are 9-9. Look, I'm just gonna ride with the Bills. I rode with them last week against the Dolphins, and it seemed like majority of national media was riding with the Dolphins. They got spanked. The Dolphins don't play well in Buffalo. I knew it. I took the Bills. I'm going to take them again here in London. Courtney, what about you?
I'm also going to take them in London. It's a pretty high confidence pick. I did ride with the Dolphins last week, however, and they did get spanked. That was pretty bad. Thanks, guys. But neither here or there. Yeah, I'm riding with the Bills. I think it's so ridiculous that the Jaguars are playing in London 2 weeks in a row, but whatever. Also, screw the Falcons. Like, are you freaking kidding? What the?
Well, I have a lot to say about the Falcons as well, so we'll get into that when we get to that game. But yeah, trust me, I have a lot to say.
I have 3 letters to say about the Falcons. That's WTF. That's it.
Fair enough.
That's all I have to say about them.
The line opened up at 3.5 for the Bills. It's now been bought to 5.5. I think you could take that and not really sweat it. Just my opinion. I think this could be a high-scoring game. I don't know what the over-under is, but I think you could look into that as well. Let's get into this next one. Courtney, get us started. We have Saints going to New England to take on Belichick and this ugly-looking Patriots team to start the year.
Yeah. This is a low confidence pick, but I'm going to ride with the Saints. I just think that the Patriots really are not doing well over there. There's a lot of things going wrong for them. So, pretty much by default, I'm going to pick the Saints just because from what I haven't watched every single Saints game so far this year, but from what I have seen, I haven't seen a ton that's going to make me say oh man, they really stink. So it's a low confidence pick, but I'm going to ride with the Saints and just hope that they don't totally screw me over.
Well, I'm on the other side of this with the Patriots. It's also a low confidence pick for me though. The reason is Derek Carr isn't healthy. I didn't watch that game, to be honest. I watched the highlights back. Dude couldn't throw more than 15 yards past the sticks. I mean, it reminded me of Drew Brees in his last season. Saints are 23-12 on the road since 2019. By the way, all these stats I have are backing you and your choice. Saints are 23-12 on the road since 2019. Patriots are 0-2 at home this year. So I literally said, I understand if you fade this pick in Belichick. I just think Belichick will be able to scheme a game plan against an injured quarterback. Saints also lead the all-time series 30-28, which I thought was very interesting. So yeah, low confidence pick. I'm going to ride with the Patriots at home to get their first win. I just feel like they're going to win a home game sooner or later. And I feel like this is the team to do it against. But all my stats back Courtnie and anyone who's siding with her on this one. I'm trying to find the lines. I can't find them. Dude, this guy's going freaking crazy. Okay, so the lines opened up. Okay, so it looks like it's basically a pick'em that I'm seeing. I don't know if that's still the case. This is kind of confusing. But yeah, I'm not going to touch this play at all when it comes to betting. So and if I were you, I wouldn't either if you're watching this. So we'll see if Courtnie can get one step closer with this one. And to be honest, I totally wouldn't be surprised if she does. Next one, Titans heading to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. So why don't you get us started here?
I rode with the Colts last week, and another one that I lost, which was absolute dog water. That was BS to the highest dimensions, in my opinion. That should not have happened. And the I'm sure you have some things to say about the Titans. I'm going to go with Colts. I don't know. I just feel like the Titans for me this year, when I picked, like in terms of me picking them, they always do the opposite of what I say they're going to do. And like, I just feel like they've been pretty unpredictable because like they've looked really, really horrible. And then like they look really promising and like on the mend, I guess, to like be better. So I don't know. This is a kind of a toss up for me and low confidence pick, but I'm going to go with the Colts.
Quickly, missed you broken. I want to shout you out in chat. You were here early, but my pick with this is low confidence. You said you're riding with the Colts.
Yep.
I did originally choose the Colts, but I'm now on the other side. I'm going with the Titans low confidence pick. So if you're new to the show, I'm a Bengals fan, for the AFC, Vikings fan, and the NFC. I'm born and raised Cincinnati. So look, the Titans absolutely demolished the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, totally ran through. Derrick Henry destroys the Bengals every time they play. It just happens. You can laugh all you want, Titans fans, but what happened in the playoffs a few years ago? Laugh at that. Of course, the Bengals lost Super Bowl. Whatever. But the Titans are 0-2 on the road. Colts are 0-2 at home. I like Anthony Richardson way more than Ryan Tannehill. I'm going to stick with the Titans, though, just because I think they can build off of what just happened against the Bengals. Like I said, so many weeks I say I love this Colts team. I really do. I mean, they're so fascinating and so interesting to watch with Richardson. Now, I will say this. If they announce Jonathan Taylor to play and to start, I will switch to the Colts, and I would think a lot of people would also do that as well if you're not on the Colts already. Once again, if Jonathan Taylor plays, I will switch to the Colts. I want to put that out there. One more stat. Titans have won the last 5 times they played, but the Colts lead the all-time series 35-22. It's a pick'em. It's what's looking like 42.5. I don't think I would touch that, but it's a pick'em. I'm going to go with the Titans. Low confidence pick for me. Getting into this next one, I'm definitely going to let you start this one just because it's the Steelers. So AFC North matchup, Ravens-Steelers. Courtnie, who are you riding with?
As much as it pains me to say it, I'm riding with the Ravens. It's unbelievable. Like
you got to go with your gut. You got to go with what you think will get you the best pick. Even if that's fading your team, you have to do that. I'm going to be fading a ton of teams that play the Bengals and Vikings coming up. Like, it's just what I have to do.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Although I am picking the Ravens, I would not be surprised if the Steelers win this because not based on like their performance like up to this point. The Steelers, as we saw last week in Houston, which I'll come back to that, they lose games that they're supposed to win, and then games that they're supposed to lose, they somehow find a way to win in like the last 2 minutes. So you're like, what's going on? Like, the Steelers are so wishy-washy when it comes to that. But like I said, I am going to ride with the Ravens just because they're pretty much, in my humble opinion, out of all the AFC North teams, they're the only ones right now who are consistent and don't absolutely suck. I mean, they still have their problems, but like how they've been playing versus how the Steelers have been playing, all signs point to Ravens are going to win this game. But like I said, Steelers are really stupid, so they will probably win this the 1 week I don't pick them. The offense, I will say this about the game, though. If you are a betting man, the offensive coordinator for the Steelers came out and said this himself. This offense is not built to come back from being down by a lot or even down like 10 points. Like they're built to come out, strike early, and continue to maintain the lead throughout the game. If they get down and out, they're most likely a sinking ship. We've looked horrible. I mean, we made CJ Stroud look like he is the man, which I'm not taking anything away from CJ Stroud because he's actually looking really good. I think, here you go, shaking your head over there.
CJ Stroud has looked phenomenal so far.
Okay, I was going to say, you're a hater if you're going to say
he's looked good. He's looked good. But your point to talking about the Steelers offense, they get behind. There's a couple teams that I feel like that are like that. It's the Titans, the Falcons, a lot of these teams that are just so run heavy dependent because their quarterbacks are below average and they suck. Kenny Pickett, whether he plays or not, this is one of those teams. Like their defense will keep them in the game forever. But like at some point, you got to put points on the board. So you're fading the Steelers, which I'm kind of upset about because I was really hoping you were on the other side of this one as well. So I could continue to climb that mountain, or you got to climb that mountain, I guess. But I'm also siding with the Ravens here. Medium confidence. I don't know what's going on with the Kenny Pickett injury, if he's going to play or not. I don't really care.
I think it's a bone bruise, is what they're saying. So he's looking to play this week.
Okay. Well, I mean, play or not, I think he sucks. I think he's not going to be a franchise quarterback. I don't think the Steelers have their guy yet. The Steelers looked like shit last week. As a Cincinnati Bengals fan, I rode with them and was very confident. It was a high confident pick. It was like my most confident pick because I had an incredible stat about how good Tomlin is against rookie quarterbacks in his career.
Yep.
And boy, did CJ Stroud take a big fat shit on that record. Like, as a Bengals fan, I was so confident in the Steelers last week, and that just pissed me off. I mean, they looked awful. They looked like garbage. They probably look worse than the Bengals. I don't know who looked worse. They both look so bad. But I mean, that has to do with riding with the Ravens a little bit. I mean, I'm angry. Ravens are a really good away team. They have always played good on the road. Steelers, they usually play good at home. The Steelers do lead the series 33-25. When it comes to divisional games, I do look at that all-time like series record because I think it is important. Like, I know what teams usually dominate the Bengals. Look at the Browns. Like, Bengals usually always have a bit more talented roster than the Browns, but the Browns usually beat the Bengals. It just is what it is. They have their number. Steelers usually have the Ravens number. I don't think they have it in this one. With or without Kenny Pickett, I'm riding with the Ravens. Look, the Ravens have so many injuries, but they just keep overcoming it, and they just find the next guy, and it's the next guy up. And I respect the hell out of that. Like, the fact they're just picking guys off the street and putting them in a Ravens jersey, and then somehow they perform really well. That's coaching. That's I don't know. That's very interesting. Looking at some stats, I mean, Kenny Pickett, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's really lighting it up. Najee Harris, I want to, like I said last week, I want to run I want to run a dash with them. I want to run against him because I bet you I could run quicker than him. He is just so, and I don't get the play calling. Why, when they put him in, they start doing these outside zones and these like outside pitches and shit? It's like, dude, put a fullback in or line him up under, have Pickett under center and like run it right up the gut. Why is Najee Harris doing all these horizontal schemes? Like, I don't get it. And then whatever running back you have, like, do you agree with that? Like, don't they do that so often? I don't get it.
The play calling is gosh dang horrible. It really is. And the Steelers are going to continue to suck. If that, not even just with Steelers fans, across the NFL, people are looking not just at Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, but now they're looking at Mike Tomlin saying, fucking fire this guy. Like, people are saying that they want Big Ben to be the OC. That's not going to happen. I would fall over and die if it did because I would just be so shocked. But how I feel about it is literally anybody could probably do better than what we have right now because it just is so horrible. But I digress. Yeah, play calling sucks and it's going to continue to suck. And this is not a team to have sucky play calling against. It's a no AFC North matchup is going to be easy, but especially Steelers Ravens, it's always like nail biter and just
AFC North is going to be an ugly game. It's going to be close. It's not going to be a lot of points. It's going to be a lot of defense, a lot of injuries. These AFC North teams beat the shit out of each other. So by the time it gets playoffs, half their team is not in the game when it matters.
Steelers have a bye week after this week, so that's nice. That is in their favor.
All right, last thing I'm going to say, once again, Ravens medium confidence. I would take the money line pick here. I don't trust points. I think it's going to be probably a close game. I think it's probably going to be low scoring. It's going to be a classic AFC North matchup, but I also could see, honestly, the Ravens running away with it and the Steelers never being able to catch up. I think it could go either way. We're on the same page here. Even the Steelers fan agrees. I'll start us off on this next one. So this next one's pretty interesting. Panthers going to Detroit, take on the Lions. This Panthers team, after watching them play the Vikings, they are dog water. How is Adam Thielen, like a 30-year-old plus Adam Thielen, who's been through hamstring injuries, has been through the ringer? As a Vikings fan, I love Adam Thielen. How is he your number one? That's crazy. The Panthers' offensive line is garbage. I mean, the Vikings have the worst defense in the National Football League, and they were tearing up that offensive line. Miles Sanders has underperformed, partially because the offense line's terrible. The Carolina offense, I mean, just looks flat. I think a lot of people forget, they see the numbers like, oh, it was a pretty close game. First drive, they had a 100-yard pick six. That really kept them in the game was, the Vikings were driving. They probably should have scored, and they did the Vikings. Can't do two good things in a row. Throw a pick six. Kirk Cousins got destroyed and hopped right back up and played the rest of the game. Classic Kirk Cousins. The O-line's terrible. Viking tore him up. I just think this happens, and the same thing with Detroit. The Lions are also 2-0 at home, I believe. Panthers do lead the all-time series 8-3, but I just think this Lions defense gets after this rookie quarterback, and I was not impressed at all with this Panthers offense. And, the defense might be pretty good, but you can't ever tell with the Vikings offense just because they're so damn good and they have so many weapons, they score so many points. Lions, medium to high confidence pick, kind of on the border. What about you, Courtney?
I'm going to agree. I'm also going to take the Lions. I just think, I've said this so many times, but I find it so hard when teams are winless, to continue to pick against them because they're going to hopefully probably eventually win a game. I just don't think this is going to be that week. The Lions have looked really good, and especially they played the Packers last week, right? That was last week, Thursday night.
In that blowout game, I remember vaguely watching it, turning it off, turning it back on. Like, that game was a disaster for the Packers. I don't even remember if that was last week or not.
That's what that's like a long week for them if it was, which shouldn't be too big of a factor, but just saying, they've looked really good and hopefully they can keep up that momentum. I don't know why I said hopefully. I could care less if they do or not. But I guess it is exciting to see a team who's been so horrible for so long to finally do something. And I think that they're going to continue this with a team that is not on their level quite yet.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty simple in my opinion, but that'll probably be one of the ones that flip over in an upset. Texans, Falcons. I'm going to be honest. My original pick was the Falcons, and I rode with them since Monday, when I made, that's when I usually make my picks. And then today, like Wednesday mornings, I will revisit, look at some stats, and I flipped on this one. Low confidence pick with the Texans. A few reasons. Courtney exactly said it earlier with the Steelers. I have it written down. I don't believe in the Falcons offense once they get behind in points. They are just so one-dimensional. They will never be able to catch up from, behind. And I totally believe that. I'm also a little angry at the Falcons, a little biased because they are wasting Kyle Pitts' career. Back in the day, I said the Bengals should have drafted Kyle Pitts over Jamar Chase. I'm not going to lie. I was that guy. It's because Kyle Pitts is a generational talent. He's probably the craziest talent we've ever seen at the tight end position. And the Jonnu Smith, their other tight end, is their leading receiver. What are we doing? I don't get that. No crazy stats here for me. I just believe Stroud he's looked fantastic as a rookie. Still think Anthony Richardson's better. Hot take, whatever. That's what I think. We'll see at the end of the season. We compare their stats and all, but I think I would rather have Anthony Richardson. CJ Stroud has still looked fantastic. He's been in a groove, and I think he continues to light it up with Nico Collins. I think they get a lead, and I think they just run with that lead. The all-time battle between these two teams are 3-2 with the Houston Texans. Started with Falcons, switched to Texans, low confidence pick. Courtney, what are you thinking for this one?
I'm also going to go with the Texans, partially because they just dog-walked the Steelers, and also a little bit of bias because I am mad at the Falcons right now for what they did last week. Terrible, terrible stuff. Because I feel like in the first couple weeks, we both were kind of like, okay, like we're going to, see how this goes. And then they just totally have made me angry the past couple weeks, and I feel like the past few times I've picked them, they have let me down. So, screw you guys. Kidding, kind of. But I'm gonna go with the Texans.
Yeah, and if they're still underdogs, they're still +2, +110. This line's gotten closer. I guarantee by kickoff, like this will be close to pick 'em. I'm just CJ Stroud, 1,200 yards, six touchdowns, no picks. Desmond Ridder, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. I mean, obviously, Bijan Robinson's the more talented running back over Dameon Pierce. Nico Collins, 428, 3 touchdowns. The leading receiver for the Falcons, Jonnu Smith, 15 receptions, 179 yards. I bet their leading receiver when it comes to receptions, I bet it's Bijan. I bet like $150 Bijan the over on receptions and receiving yards. And it's like hit like every week. And I'll probably lay it again here. They, Desmond Ridder to safety blanket, dunk it down to Bijan. They do it so often. It just works. It's a great bet. But yeah, that's what I got on that one. Bet it while you can, while they're still the underdog, because I don't think they'll continue to be one for a while. Giants and Dolphins. Courtney, who do you have for this one?
I mean, you don't even have to ask. The Giants are so horrible. Really just tick me off every week because I want them to not be so bad. Like, I really don't like the Giants. I have no ties to the Giants, whatever, but I cannot stand watching bad football teams week after week. But at least they're not the Bears, but no matter. So I'm going to take the Dolphins, even though they did get whooped last week. I would say the Giants are closer to the Broncos than they are the Bills. So I'm going to comfortably go with the Dolphins. Now, if by some miracle that the Giants win this, I will not say another freaking word. I will not say how horrible they are for a hot minute. I'll just keep my mouth shut. But until that, they got walked by the Seahawks. So come on. Yeah.
Courtney, I agree with you. This is a high confidence pick finally. I'm going to ride with the Dolphins. They got curb stomped by the Bills, which I called, but I think they bounced back here at home. Offense still looked good. Their defense could not hold Josh Allen and Diggs and all. Gabe Davis and all those weapons. I said it last week. I was right with both these teams when it came to them losing last week. I said the Dolphins, can't, they're not going to go into Buffalo and win. And I said the Giants aren't going to beat the Seahawks without Saquon because that's their entire offense. Both were 100% correct. And even if they play Saquon, he's probably not going to be 100%. And if they do, just load the box. Danny Dimes has no confidence right now. 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the year. 2 touchdowns to 6 interceptions on the year. He's also their leading rusher. Why? Because no Saquon, and they don't have a running back that's anything like Saquon. How do you feel about paying Danny Dimes like $40 million plus a year and probably going to let Saquon walk this year? I mean, this team just This franchise just makes me sick, man. That decision makes me, in part because I've loved Saquon for so long. No reason. Just I thought he was a crazy talent coming into the NFL, and he's so awesome to watch. Injuries suck, but getting off topic here. I think the Dolphins simply outscore the Giants. I think it's as easy as that. Giants have won 4 of the last 5 matchups, and they're all-time 7-3 against the Dolphins. So maybe if you are sprinkling the other side here, there's some cool little stats for you. But the line right now, they are favored by 11 points. Like I said, I'm usually a money line guy. Money line's 535, so I would either throw that in a parlay, or I would do an alternate spread and have it at 6.5. It's probably like minus 250 or something if I had to guess. But Tua, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Tyreek Hill has looked great. I know he tweaked his leg. I think he's okay, though. I don't think he's going to miss any time for that. I saw a play. I was flipping back and forth during the game, and I saw he tweaked his leg and limped off the field. It looked bad. He went down and grabbed his knee. I was like, oh, Dolphins season over. They're not going to have any vertical plays without Tyreek. And I was like, oh, season over. And then he was back in the next drive. So I was like, that's good. Don't want to see injuries. Easy pick here. High confidence Dolphins. I'll start this next one off. This is going to be Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cardinals. You see the picks on the year, 44-20, and a large amount of that 20 has to do with my Bengals. Once again, I'm going to be a moron and go Bengals low confidence pick. Please fade me. I said it last week, and I've been saying a lot of weeks. Fade me here. Yeah, the Bengals are just a far more talented team than the Cardinals. But Zach Taylor has had an all-time shit year with play calling. Burrow is hurt, and the Cardinals have played every team so tough. Everyone called them, they're heading into the year, they're the worst team in the NFL. I said, no way. That's the Bears, not the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are going to surprise people, and
you look for
they are.
The Bears are the worst team in the NFL.
I'm telling you, the Bears are the worst team in the NFL, worst franchise. But the Cardinals, I think they play the Bengals really tough here. I would fade the Bengals. I would take the points with the Cardinals. Let's be honest. If the Bengals have been playing like the Bengals the last 2 years, this would not be, a 3-point game? Yeah, Bengals favored by 3. The Bengals would probably be favored by 13, not 3. Bengals low confidence. Zach Taylor, all-time shit year in play calling. Joe Burrow looks terrible. Joe Mixon is really the only bright side on the offense, and Zach Taylor won't run the ball. You have an injured quarterback, and he wants to throw it 50 times a game. I don't understand. Run the freaking ball. Your quarterback is hurt. Lean on the running back that you're paying. Joe Mixon has looked way better than I thought he would coming to the year. He just doesn't see the ball. The defensive side, Trey Hendrickson has played great. Sam Hubbard's played pretty well. Dax Hill has played awesome. Chidobe Awuzie has played, pretty good, returning off his ACL injury. Mike Hilton has looked decent. Just, you score 3 points. Oh, by the way, if you want a lock of the week, Bengals haven't scored a touchdown in the first half in any game this year. Take Cardinals up by half, Bengals to win. Or take Cardinals at half and take Cardinals to win. Bengals haven't scored a touchdown in the first half all year. All-time series is tied 6-6. Bengals, very low confidence pick. Fade me here. Courtney, please tell me you're taking the Cardinals.
I am taking the Cardinals.
Good for you.
I have been talking really nothing but good things about the Cardinals this entire time that I've been on here. When we talked last week, we know that James Conner's in the Cardinals and that. I have a little bit of personal bias by that. But I don't want to get into that too much because I will start blushing again. It will be embarrassing. But they do have other people on their team, obviously, that I do like. And I've been behind this Cardinals team. I really have. I've been rooting for them. And I'm 1,000% taking them this week. However, I would not be surprised if the Bengals won this. This is kind of a toss-up 50-50 for me. This really...
It's a prove it. Is it, you're saying it's a prove it to me game. You're going to fade the Bengals. You're going to say, I'm going to continue to fade the Bengals until you can show me that you're back to last year's, right? That's what you're doing. It's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, I think that the Cardinals you know, they have that mentality of like everybody thinks like we fucking suck. So let's come out here. I need to quit saying that. I'm sorry. These cats over here are thinking that they're, you know, they're running the AFC North, and that has been the opposite of what they've done all season. And the Cardinals are coming in and going to be like, so silly, and they're just gonna hopefully win. But they really rooted. This is not even me because I'm a Steelers fan. This pick is rooted in my hope that the Cardinals win, not because I want the Bengals to lose necessarily, even though I do. But it's more so that I want the Cardinals to win.
Okay, so before I forget real quick, I want to name off some player props. I already named off the Bijan Robinson, bet the overs. Going back to Texans Falcons, I know CJ Stroud hasn't threw an interception yet. I think he's due, and I think he does it if you can bet over half an interception, or Jesse Bates tackles, interceptions, whatever. Jesse Bates is having a monster year with that Falcons defense. I think you could sprinkle it. Another one, you could obviously anything Tyreek Hill or on that Dolphins offense, you probably could do. On this Bengals game, I would, look at Jamar Chase. I know Cincinnati coverage has been all over Jamar Chase and its frustration. I'm always effing open, he said.
I loved that.
It's true. It's true.
Loved that.
It's all play calling why he hasn't got the ball. Joe Burrow has gotten the ball in less than 2.5 seconds on average in all four, in the 4 games this season. And that's like almost a second below the rest of the NFL. It's just because they're injured and they're not throwing vertical. It's all horizontal plays. Jamar Chase is right. I would bet all overs on Jamar Chase. On top of that, T. Higgins probably won't play. I tweeted it. T. Higgins is softer than a Kleenex. That dude will never finish a full season his entire career. Don't even get me started on the T. Higgins re-signing thing, because I will be on a hot take and all the Bengals fans will unsubscribe because I'm not very bullish on T. Higgins. I'm going to just move on from that. On the defensive side, I've bet Trey Hendrickson over on a half a sack. I made that. Dax Hill tackles or sacks, at least the tackles he's got over on that. On both of those, I've hit this year. I think you could do that this year, or not in this game as well. Just quick side note, I just want to name off those player props for those interested. Those have all hit for me this year. I'm going to continue to ride with those. So you're fading the Bengals. That's smart. I'm riding with the Bengals. It's dumb. Let's get into Eagles, Rams. But hey, it's smart and dumb, but look at our picks. Just want to say that. Also, follow Courtney. Just to sweet up. Follow Courtney on her TikTok. She's posting a lot of highlights from the streams, just in case you can't watch the whole thing. Follow us both on our Twitter. We're both funny, and we both rage when our teams are playing bad. And both our teams have played a lot of bad football this year, so you're missing out on some funny content. Jets and Broncos. I think this is another one where we differ. I'm going with the Jets. Low confidence. Are you riding with the Jets?
Yes, I am.
Oh, wow. That's shocking. So
are you serious? I freaking have despised the Broncos.
Yes. Most people are choosing the Broncos, and I originally chose the Broncos when looking at records and teams. And then I watched the Jets play. I said, oh, this team has some life. I mean, they played Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and that's all we're going to say about the Chiefs, because if you say anything else, I'm going to block you in the comment section. I don't want to hear her name. They look pretty bad against that Jets defense. We already knew the Jets had a good defense, and my boy Garrett Wilson balled out with Zach Wilson. So I think the Jets continue this against this terrible Broncos team. The Broncos are a big part of my record, having 20 losses or 44-20, because I've been betting them a few times and they've, hurt me on that. I'm just looking for spots for upsets. We have a couple throughout here, and we always have a few during the week because not every favorite's going to win, or, sports betting, would be way too easy. And I'm trying to find the stat real quick. It's kind of why the line. Yeah. And the Jets are another underdog, not by much, but by 1.5. And it was bigger than that earlier in the week. You just got to find your spots for some upset sleepers. And I think this is one of them here. Low confidence. I just think Zach Wilson continues to play decent enough for his defense to keep low scoring, don't have to score that many points to win. I disagree with the public. I've seen a lot of people side with the Broncos. I get it, but I'm going to fade them. And I also saw that Breece Hall isn't limited anymore. I know there's been a lot of stirring of the pot with Breece Hall saying he's not getting the ball enough, he's not getting enough touches, and they throw in Dalvin Cook. Whatever. I'm riding with the Jets. Not very confident, but I think if you're looking for some underdogs, this could be one of them. Courtney, what are your thoughts?
Also riding with the Jets. I am going to, quick note, agree with she who must not be named in terms of football, but I'm not even going to say I don't want to get canceled or have someone show up at my front door and like want to beat me up. So I'm not even going to go there. But and I know that like if you read the description of these videos that it says I'm a Swiftie. No. I like Taylor Swift's music. I am not a Swiftie. I would just like
The
that.
the funniest thing about that is I made that before this whole thing blew up. Before she blew onto the scene. I swear, on everything. And now I'm going to delete it because I'm so sick and tired of it being the only thing the national media outlets will cover. Like, shut the up. Like, can we please just talk football? Like, I might seem like a freaking like a boomer or something, but it's like, dude, I've seen more coverage on her than the football games that were going on. So I'm going to take that out. Thank you for reminding me. But for those that have seen that, I just put like, oh, by the way, Courtnie's a Swiftie. I've had that in since week 1 or 2. So yeah, thank you for.
And I'm glad you're taking that out, not only just for what you just said, but because it is false information. It's false advertising to me. Anywho, the Jets. I think you tweeted about this, but there was that clip after the Chiefs game, and the announcer or like the Monday Night Football, whatever, like that panel was dogging Zach Wilson, just like blatantly, like, this guy sucks, this guy sucks, this guy sucks. And you're like, bro, what is going on here? That was rough as heck. I thought everybody is like dogging on Zach Wilson right now. And yeah, is he the greatest quarterback in the NFL? No. But I'm not going to sit here and just continue to rag on him and be like, he's the problem, he's the problem, he's the problem.
Don't want to cut you off, but it's because I had to look up his name because I forgot. I'm having a brain fart. I think it was Rodney Harrison. Yeah, basically, if you didn't see that clip, like, he was leading on Chris Jones to basically, he literally he literally said, he's trash, isn't he? Like, what are your thoughts? And Chris Jones was like, no, he's not. Like, he's got a dog. He's a dog in him, and we knew that coming in here, and we wanted to prepare for him. And then, like, even though he already disagreed with him, Rodney Harrison doubled down and continued to say, oh, man, come on. He's trash. Like, seriously. And Chris Jones is like, no, man, like he's in the NFL. And I saw a clip. Yeah, the clip I reposted was Mahomes going after and, dapping up Zach Wilson at the game, was like, hey, man, like, F the media. Like, you got that dog and keep doing your thing. It's just because, like, you feel bad for the kid. Like, holy shit. Like, you're on a national media stage and, like, what did it seemed personal almost. I don't know if there's something that's going on between Rodney Harrison and Zach Wilson, but dude, like, why are you hating so bad on the kid? Like, he wasn't prepared for Rodgers to get hurt on the freaking 3rd snap of the season. Like, like you said, Courtnie, I agree with you. Like, yes, is Zach Wilson a franchise quarterback? Like, I would take him over some other quarterbacks that have been playing in the NFL this year. Hot take if I probably named a few. One of them plays for the Steelers, but
I knew you were going there. I mean, why do you have to just do that?
But
that was so unnecessary.
What was unnecessary was to be a national media anchor and to say something like that on live TV and then double down on it. So, but go ahead, continue with your pick.
My last little note for the Jets is, can we just take a moment? Aaron Rodgers. That man is out there walking on crutches.
I love Rodgers, man. I mean, even as a Vikings fan, I love Aaron Rodgers. Like,
I do too. I'm an Aaron Rodgers stan, and the fact that he is out there walking after he tore his Achilles after 3 weeks. Yeah, he's coming back. He'll be here for the playoffs.
And the whole bit with Kelsey calling him Mr. Pfizer, holy shit. That is so funny. And I hope Rodgers keeps fading everyone who's hated on him about his comments with vaccinations and the Joe Rogan podcast. Not going to get political, but
here you go. Now we're going to get canceled. Right as we're getting started, you're going to cancel it.
Rodgers, they've tried to cancel him in the past, and they won't happen because Aaron freaking Rodgers, and he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Even as, got this on me, skull, but like, dude, you got to respect a generational quarterback.
I had to take a moment for.
But you're riding with the Jets, right?
Yep, couple claps for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, let's go. But you're riding with the Jets, though, right? Like, that's the pick?
Yes.
Okay. I also am. low confidence. Yeah, I mean I gave my reasons. Brees Hall
I
isn't
have
limited
medium
anymore. We'll see
confidence.
what happens.
I didn't say that. I have medium confidence because I do not ride. I'm not riding with Broncos country and freaking Russell Wilson. I'm not. I'm
The
not sold on
Russell
them.
Wilson's stats have looked good though. They've looked good.
I'm not riding with him.
Fair enough.
Not good enough to get the job done, obviously.
I'll get this next one started. Chiefs versus Vikings. Medium high confidence pick in the Chiefs. Look, the Chiefs didn't look very good against the Jets, and I feel like they are one of those teams that are got a great coach. And what happens after a mediocre win or a loss? They come back and look really good the next week usually. Mahomes is going up against one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and probably the worst secondary outside of future Hall of Famer Harrison Smith. Oh, and by the way, Harrison Smith has looked fantastic. I don't know what his over-under is on tackles and all that, but that's another parlay you could have or a player prop. Harrison Smith has looked so good. This will be a fun game to watch. Even if I wasn't a Vikings fan, I probably would have this on the 4:00 games. Sucks. The one time the Vikings get the 4:00 slot, the Bengals also get the 4:00 slot. Can those teams, can one get 4 and one get 1, so I don't have to watch them at the same time? Whatever. But yeah, Chiefs, Mahomes should have 450 passing yards. I mean, this secondary is bad, and it's Brian Flores has done a great job scheming so far this year. He just doesn't have the talent yet, and I think eventually he will. But as of right now, I think the over is live. I think any Mahomes stats is live. Justin Jefferson, if you bet the over every week, you would probably be a rich man. I mean, he's the best receiver in the National Football League, and it's not close. 543, 3 touchdowns, 33 receptions. He's looked so good. Justin Jefferson, so good. Kirk Cousins, 11 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. I mean, compared to Mahomes, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Kirk Cousins is just Kirk Cousins. Do I want him to be a Minnesota Viking next year? No. But does he sling that freaking rock? Yes. Like this offense is so good. I think a lot of people are going to actually watch him this week and be like, damn, like this team can score. And this is without Dalvin Cook. Alexander Mattison has been garbage. He's been so bad. And maybe I'm a little rough on that because I'm used to Dalvin Cook the past few years, and Dalvin Cook's obviously incredible when he's on the field. I'm still going to ride with the Chiefs nonetheless, but I think player props for a lot of receiving is live. A lot of passing is live. The over. But I think the Vikings can keep it close. The Vikings play really close games. That's, the line is only 4.5 for the Chiefs. And a lot of people may be like, what? Like they should blow the Vikings out. Then you just don't know the Vikings. They win and lose close games like 99% of the time. I mean, the over-under is 53. I mean, so I don't know if I would bet the over, actually. That's a lot of points, but this will be a fun game to watch, even if the Vikings lose. I think Jefferson has 150 yards and a touchdown. That's my hot take here, Courtney. And that's not even a hot take, honestly. That's like a normal day at the office for Jefferson. But go ahead, Courtney.
I am riding with the Chiefs. As much as I would rather the Vikings win, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. And I know that you are excited about watching this game this week. And really the only thing I have to say is you better hope Miss Taylor Swift doesn't show up to that game because...
You said her name.
Sorry.
You said her name.
Sorry. Well, you won't be watching that game if she's there. Like, you're going to watch her private box and her reactions. So maybe we should try to get Taylor.
It's so ridiculous. Like,
maybe we should try to get Taylor on the stream. She's obviously...
They need to have an alternate casting. Like, they have the Manning and Manning. They have the Nickelodeon. Just have a separate her cast so all the girlies can go watch that cast. And the guys that, the people that just want to watch football can just watch the football game.
The guys?
I corrected myself. I corrected myself. I said the people. I corrected myself. But, yeah. But honestly, like it's so ridiculous at this point. Like I'm not even gonna waste another second talking about it because I'm tired of hearing about it and seeing it on social media.
I hope she is there just because
there's somebody else I hope that makes that shows up to the same game one of these weeks, and they won't show him though, even though he's he's the GOAT and he made her. If you know who that is, if you know, you know. But yeah, if Mr. West shows up in the building, then yeah, he'll burn that shit down. Okay, we're both going with the Chiefs here. Let's
anyway.
Sunday night football. Yeah, if Mr. West shows up, it's a wrap. Like that's the dude.
I think we skipped Eagles Rams.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. We did. My apologies. Good catch. Good catch. Let's go. I'll get us started here. I'll be quick. Eagles medium to high confidence pick. They haven't looked great, but they've done enough to win, and they have shown that they can win the close games. The push tush or whatever you want to call it, get that out of the league. It's disgusting. I hate it. I just think this Rams offensive line is just awful. I mean, Stafford is banged up. He's old and he's brittle, and he gets beat up every week because the offensive line's so bad. I mean, and look, Stafford's looked good. He's made plays. But I think it's a pretty high-scoring game. I would consider the over. I don't know what it is, but I'd look at it. I would write the Eagles. I just think their front seven gets, 4.5 plus sacks, in my opinion. The Eagles are 22-20-1 in the all-time series, and they have beat the Rams 6 of the last 7 matchups. Courtney, what do you got?
I'm also taking the Eagles here. The Rams are just such a difficult team for me to read because the only game that I've really watched of theirs start to finish is when they played the Bengals, which, by the way, I picked them to win that game and the bastards didn't win. So I can't really tell if they're, a good team or not. Because, they don't have a bad record. They're 2-2, if I'm remembering correctly. So you're just like, what's going, what? They're just I have a hard time picking them because I just feel like I never know what they're going to come out and do. They can come out and win games, and then they can absolutely roll over and die some other times. So you're just like, I don't know, but yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles here.
All right. And if you're still watching this, whether you're watching live or postponed, make sure to subscribe button, leave a like, and join DCV family. Sunday night football. Look, I absolutely love this game. All week, national media has just been talking about, oh, Cowboys this, oh, Cowboys that. I cannot wait for Dak Prescott to throw 2+ interceptions and for the 49ers to get it done at home. High confidence pick. Give me the 49ers. They've made me so much money this year. I absolutely love this 49ers team. I mean, through the first month of football, they are the best team in the NFL so far. Look, and the Cowboys have looked great outside of the Cardinals game as well. Don't get me wrong. They got some monsters on that defense. I don't even know if there's a hot take anymore, but if I had to choose an NFL franchise quarterback and it was between Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott, give me Brock freaking Purdy all day. Don't care. Look, this is how I look at it. Both these defenses are top 5 in the National Football League. But at the other spectrum, I think the 49ers offense is better than the Cowboys offense because they'll probably turn the ball over less than the Cowboys. Yeah, I think, Brock Purdy, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Prescott, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. He hasn't thrown as many picks as we all thought. Whatever. But he also lost to the Cardinals. Tony Pollard has looked pretty good. Not
careful
as good
now.
as Christian.
Careful now talking about the Cardinals. You better be careful.
Christian McCaffrey, 6 touchdowns, almost 500 yards. Like, if you want to player prop, obviously Christian McCaffrey touchdown, like it's hit every time for like 17 straight games or something ridiculous like that. Like at this point, it's like under 250 when most, touchdown props are like plus money. Just so ridiculous. I'd like to see Deebo Samuel get, more start into this Cowboys offense. I know he's questionable, which is a little bit of a red flag, but I don't care whether he plays or not. Give me the 49ers high confidence pick against the Cowboys. Courtney, what are your thoughts for Sunday Night Football? Oh, one more stat. The 49ers have beat the Cowboys 2 times in a row. The last 2 times they played.
I'm also going to ride with the 49ers. I'm pretty like they're probably going to lose a game this season. But I do not see myself fading them in the near future. It's just kind of one of those picks that you kind of guarantee to give. It's for me trying to catch back up, which, I mean, I guess I'm not that far behind. But, not that close either. So it's
We got a couple this week. I think we have 3 or 4 at least on opposite sides. So this could be the week. You said the same thing last week didn't happen, but it could be this week. Could be this week. But I think you're smart for taking the Niners here.
Unnecessary, but okay.
I think I see the Cowboys though. Why, are you sure you don't want to take the Cowboys here? Like, this could be your chance to one up on me.
No, because
let's put money on it. $20 on the Cowboys for you, $20 on the Niners for me.
No, I don't like that.
All right, we'll come back. If the Cowboys win and we come back next week, I'm gonna bring this up. And like, hey, you had your chance. But no, go ahead.
Now I'm going to go with the 49ers. I thought that the Cowboys-Patriots game last week was going to be a lot closer than it was. Like, the Patriots just rolled over and died last week. That game happened, right? That was last week?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to say, those are all kind of running together. A lot of stuff happening. But yeah, I mean, the Cowboys are a good team, but I just have, like you said, I have more confidence in the 49ers offense than I do in Dallas. So, yeah, I'm going with the 49ers. Now, I will be mad as hell, though, if the Cowboys do win and I lost my opportunity to win some money.
I'll be very frustrated because I know national media, all they're going to talk about is Cowboys Super Bowl year. Cowboys Super Bowl year. They beat.
We them boys. Or are they them boys?
It's going to be so bad. So please, 49ers, please win this game. Not a Cowboys hater or anything, just national media. It's hard to root for them when it seems like everyone wants to root for them. Monday Night Football. I've hated like every Monday Night Football game, but I think I've been correct on every primetime game this year, if not most.
That's an impressive stat for you.
Yeah, that's I've made a lot of money on the primetime games. When I can focus in on them, I can get the right player props, I get the right pick of the team. I made a lot of money so far, but when it comes to this one, it's another one of those where I don't like it. I mean, seeing the Packers and the Lions, like, I chose the Lions, and it was obviously the right pick. Like, that game was just disgusting. And I clipped the clip where I'm talking about Jordan Love overrated. And I was talking about the over or whatnot, the under, whatever I said, I don't remember. And it was all right. I go to my Instagram or go to the Instagram, Life of DCTV. I think I might have posted on Twitter. I don't remember. But I called the game perfect. I said Jordan Love is overrated. He's played mediocre defenses, and this will be a wake-up call, a divisional primetime game. And boy, he stunk it up. He now has 8 touchdowns, 3 picks. Still, a solid year so far. But I mean, you look at Jimmy Garoppolo, 5 touchdowns, 6 picks. And he's also questionable. Josh Jacobs has also looked very bad to start the year. I love Josh Jacobs. He's one of my favorite backs in the league the past few years, but he's looked really, really bad. The Raiders' offense has looked bad. Devontae Adams looks great, but who's going to be throwing him the ball? I didn't even think Garoppolo was going to play last week. And I think he did. Oh, wait, no, he didn't. It was the backup. At least I remember the backup finishing the game. Was it against the Cowboys?
No, they
it was a blowout though, wasn't it? Who did they just play? I gotta look it up.
No,
I remember seeing the rookie quarterback in the game. The Chargers, yes, and the dirty hit with the dirty hit on the quarterback for the Chargers. Come on, help me out. Justin Herbert. The dirty hit on Justin Herbert, and Justin Herbert like broke his finger and still played tough. Like, holy crap, Justin Herbert! Like, dude.
Which I picked Chargers last week. Are they on a bye week this week?
Somebody's on a bye week this week. I know there is one.
Well, yeah, because they're not on here. So yeah.
Look, Justin Herbert looked great. I'm trying to flip the stats. Yeah, Aiden O'Connell played the full game. Justin Jacobs was a leading rusher and receiver for the team. So there's that. Justin Herbert finished the game with like 2 broken fingers or something ridiculous. My confidence is so low in the Raiders and it's so low in the Packers where it's like, what do I do with this game? Like, I am just low confident pick. It's a pick 'em. Doesn't help. Or actually the Packers are favored by a point, whatever, pick 'em, whatever you want to call it. I hate both these teams. I don't know who to pick here, but and by the way, I'm taking some time because I didn't have a pick because I just wanted to see in a moment if I felt something, and I don't. So I'm going to choose the Packers. Very, very low confidence pick. I did pull up 2 stats. Green Bay Packers lead the all-time series 9-5, and the Raiders haven't beat the Packers since 1987. There's a stat right there. So give me the Packers low confidence Monday Night Football. Courtney, what do we got?
Well, I'm glad you said that because I'm going with the Raiders. But if you would have said the Raiders, I would have went with the Packers just to have some separation because anything can happen in this game. Like I do not care who wins. B, I think both of these teams are washed. C, I wish I would have taken the Packers now, but it's too late to go back. D,
Raiders haven't beat the Packers since 1987, so keep that in mind. Obviously, what does that have to do with scheduling? They haven't played each other that much, but still, I love that stat. And like
I do too,
usually these primetime games, I have some player props. With this one, I mean, outside of Devontae Adams, like it could. Oh, who's the Raiders defensive end that's really good? Crosby maybe over half a sack. Like I honestly, I'll probably play over 2.5 field goals. Like the over field goal player prop has made has really cashed in for me a lot this year. This could be one of those games, especially prime time. Usually not a lot of high scoring. Now I've seen a lot of people actually fade that this week and choose over 40.5 points. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say under. Maybe I'll do an alternate total. Maybe I'll do like 47.5, 48 and do the under there. Like, I don't know. I have no feeling with this game whatsoever. I mean, there's no part of me that just wants the other side, which I'm glad you're fading me and you're going with the Raiders. Now, if Garoppolo doesn't play, are you taking Aiden O'Connell still? I mean, he didn't play terrible.
No, but like I feel as though like I have kind of been the one who's like, oh yeah, like Jordan. This is first of all, this is after week 1. I said this first of all, but I was like, oh yeah, Jordan Love could be a guy for Green Bay. Now I don't know. I don't really have the same feelings on that now.
Whoa, 8 touchdowns and 3 interceptions on the year. He's not a franchise quarterback?
Okay. All right.
Come on. Look at those numbers. Those numbers
I'm
are
not
great.
saying I think he like sucks now like you do, but like
I'll tell you right now, I'll take Kirk Cousins over Jordan Love.
Oh, well,
if you had to do a franchise team right now, Kirk Cousins, Jordan Love, who you taking?
I'm picking Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
Okay, but now I like wish you would pick the Raiders so I can pick because I want to pick the Packers. I really do, and I'm going to be really pissed if the Packers win this. But just to fade you, I'm going to go with the Raiders.
That's 4 or 5 different games right there. So if you're listening to this either live or not live, consider all the stuff we've said, all our picks. We both bring great value to the other side. No, I was 13-3 last week, so I'll probably be 3-13 this week. 44.
I'm sorry, I would die if that happened. I would roll over and die.
44-20 on the year. Courtney 37-27. We both have done pretty good. I mean, for our first time doing this, the first year ever doing this, I'm pretty good with that. I mean, a lot of you could say like, oh well, you're just picking the teams, which like I also only usually do is money line. Rarely do I pick the spread, and if I do, it's usually an alternative spread to make it even less of a margin because I mean, there's just not many football games that are over a touchdown, win. There's a lot of backdoors. I think the Vikings could do that. There's a lot of teams that happen to it. I know. It actually kind of bit me in the butt. One of the bets I had was the points with the Chiefs, and then Patrick Mahomes slid on the 1-yard line instead of sliding into the end zone. So I lost that. And that made me reconsider, like, this is why you don't pick the spread. And then, like, all people that did pick the spread all week are saying, oh, the game's fixed. Which, I mean, that game probably is fixed. I mean, those flags, like, I don't even want to get into that, but those flags, like, the ref literally waited until he picked it off and was like, oh, that's hey, we're coming back. We're not picking off with with her in the building. We could not let that slide. I mean, the Vikings are probably gonna have so many BS calls. I can already see my father and I getting so frustrated because she's in the building and the refs are like, "Oh my god, like we got to win this one for the Chiefs here."
Well, you might
Justin
get, like-
Jefferson pushed off on that play. Bring it back down the field. Like I already could see that happening this week. But
Well, that's not confirmed that she's going to be there. I mean, this is in Minnesota. Yeah.
I mean, this will be the nicest stadium she's been to. I mean, that's the U.S. Bank is absolutely beautiful. Such a beauty of a stadium.
Is she going up there? I don't know.
I know if I was security of that stadium, I would not let her in there. And I would be inviting somebody else with the last name starting with W in there to be the halftime performer. So that's what I would do. But
she's not performing. She's a regular girl when she goes there, Drew. She's just supporting her boyfriend.
But I would have a performer there that would perform there. I have because.
Speaking of performers, going to games, how about the Packers letting down Lil Wayne? Good job,
yeah,
guys.
That was hilarious, Lil Wayne. What a guy! That Lil Wayne, it's an interesting human to talk about. Some of the stuff he's done in the past and the fact that he talks on some of the shows he does. Interesting in itself. Good rapper. Why aren't we talking about him more? Come on, it's Lil Wayne. Come on, let's talk about him. Yeah, I mean, the Packers.
Let's invite him to the Chiefs-Vikings game.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything to touch on this week? We got a lot of different picks. We'll see if my lead, keeps widening or if it's, shortens up here. A lot of picks of mine that are not very confident this week. I know my high confidence pick I usually nail, and I want to say I apologize if you rode with the Steelers last week because they were a high confidence pick and they weren't even close. So it was like, I apologize if you rode with that one. Trust me, I wasn't very excited about it either.
See, again, there's just been a lot of unnecessary shots taken today, this week.
That wasn't even a shot. That was a shot at myself because I had a lot of belief in the Steelers, and I was like,
you know what?
That wasn't even a shot at you. I rode with the Steelers. They were a high confidence pick of mine.
Bro, I know, but you didn't have to bring it up. Like, I'm already down.
Well, I wouldn't apologize if anyone watches this. They're like, I rode with you on that, and I was like, sorry, like that sucks. Now I fade them this week with the Ravens.
We scored more points than the Bengals last week, so.
I mean, it's not hard to do when you only put up a freaking field goal. I think everyone's outscored them in the first half. I think the Bengals and the Giants are the only two teams who haven't scored a touchdown in the first half all year. And they've been pulling up all the stats of the Giants, how they've been outscored. You can do the same thing with the Bengals, but they just won't because everyone hates Daniel Jones. But, 13-3 last week. That's all I got this week. I gave some player props. Feel free to sprinkle those. If you are interested in any other player props, add the Life of DCTV on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. Follow me on Twitter. Shoot me a DM on there. I'd love to, give out some options, some things to consider. That's all I got. Courtnie, do you have anything?
That's it. I'll see you next week when
5:15. Got to skedaddle.
When I shrink the lead.
There it is. We'll see what happens. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy some lovely football. Relax. Have a good week. Watch sports. Let's win some money. Bye. Oh, wait. All right, bye.